Hi Jen, hi Greg. This is Manny Marino with Do Wood Sun out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm making this YouTube video for you, and I'll spend the next probably 5-10 minutes kind of walking you through the assembly process, and then I'll talk about the chair, the maintenance, the laser engraving, the double inlay maintenance, and of course how to walk you through how to assemble it. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you Jen for finding me on Etsy. I appreciate the business. These are definitely fun chairs to make. I'll talk about the engraving. So, as you requested, you want a dad's chair. Greg, this is for you. I always put my brand and logo here. It's very subtle, so from a distance you really can't see it until you come up close, but it's got my handle from Instagram, and then my logo in case people want to find me. But again, a fun chair. I love it that you left it natural like that, Jen. I think it's really sharp and adds a lot of pop to the chair. So this, I'll talk about the logo. So this is kind of a double inlay. The Wisconsin logo is inlaid into the back of Wisconsin, which is inlaid into the back of the chair. So kind of a double inlay. I think there's some 20 some pieces to make that. The boards went horizontal and routed each edge, and then I painted it the school color. I think it's like a cardinal red. So I made sure of that. But the entire chair is made of redwood cedar, and it's perfect for outdoors. I know it's going to Glenwood, Illinois. So the nice thing about red cedar, or cedar in general, that it repels heat. It can be out in the hot sun all day. Like this one has been outside for the last couple of days in my backyard, and just letting it dry from the stain, and it repels heat. It's not hot to the touch. You can sit in it on a hot day. So that's what's kind of great about cedar. It repels, it's stained, and it repels water, and it doesn't retain water, and as I mentioned, heat. So for winter use, I recommend that you either cover it or put it away so it's not constantly wet. And this is an outdoor paint, so maybe in a couple of years you could do a light sand and repaint it, and that's totally fine. As far as the stain, and this is a cherry stain, so it's very clear, very light. And then the base is it's called a golden pecan. So golden pecan for the bottom half, and then the legs and base is cherry pecan. It's probably really hard to tell in video, but it gives it a little contrast, and it's a little darker than the cherry stain. But all right, so let me just talk first about kind of assembling it, and I'll walk around it, and I'll kind of give you kind of a walkthrough. So when I'm referencing the chair, I'm always going to reference it from looking at the chair right to left. Everything underneath I'll label, starting with the first board, the laser engraved board. This will be number 1, so look for the right marking on the base, and then I'll walk it back 1 through 7 to make the seat slat, right? So that's the first thing that you're going to build. I'll give you kind of a side profile. So in fact, I even brought a couple sets here, a sample. So you're going to start off on a flat surface. Now, lucky for me, I have lots of benches, but on the ground is fine. Flat surface, start with your number 1 board, go flush. There's a 2x6 brace, so your seat slats are 2x6, and then the in-between is a 2x6 spacer. It's hard to tell in the video, but on the inside, I will mark here and on the outside of where to line it up, but you can't go wrong. Once you get to your number 7 slat, this is where the 2 screws on each side are going to support and get in the spacer, okay, the 2x6 spacer. So once you put your seat slat together, right, starting on a flat surface, 1 all the way, walk it back to number 7, then it's going to be your front legs with 2 lag bolts on each side, then your back legs go on the inside, and all lag bolts go from outside in, and it goes lag bolt, washer, lock nut, nut. You're going to need a 9/16 socket and ratchet to make things easier for you. And then after your seat slats, your front legs, your back legs, and then one thing I was going to mention about the back leg, and this is really a good view. So the back legs are different than the front legs, and you're going to be able to tell that the back legs have an angle, right? This is like a 33-degree angle, I believe. And then this board right here is the back support, right, that sits in between the two back legs. And one of the things that you're going to do, and I'll have pencil marked on the bottom of where to line this up, right? So you're not going to go all the way to the top of the back leg, because if you do, you're going to bump the arm and it won't keep flush. So it's about 1/4 of an inch from the top, but again, look for the markings, again, right and left. And then the next thing that go on are your arms. Your arms will have a pre-drilled hole in the back and then 2 in the front. And then in your kit, I will include the wood plugs and some sawdust. So in case you don't like the look where I'm putting the torque bit screws flush, you sink them all the way as far as you can, fill it with sawdust, and then the wood plugs can go in after that, right, to make it flush. So I only have enough, or I never put wood plugs in the back just because it's a smaller area, and so just by design, just countersink it to the top and keep it flush, okay? So everything else will get wood plugs if you wish to do that. And then the last piece is your back. The back is going to come all in one piece, and it may be a little hard to see in the video, but once you do your seat slat, right, there's going to be a 1-inch space between the number 7 seat and the spacer, and that's by design because the tail, I call it the tail of the back, that slips right in, and center it, and then the thing underneath, there's going to be two, there's going to be 2 screws on each of these tails, okay? So there isn't in the video, but as soon as I pause this, I'll countersink, and I'll make sure to include the screws on that. So you'll have to have 2 on the bottom, and that's to keep it from shifting as people sit in and out of it. And then that's it. I mean, that's pretty much how you assemble the chair. It's pretty basic. It's pretty easy. The hardware I used, this is a T25 torque bit. The bit is included in the kit, in the plastic bag. And everything is countersunk. Now, these are 24-inch wide boards. So, I mean, in theory, you could just put them all in there except for the front one, right? Front one has to go in the front. But what I'd like you to do is just follow it 1 through 7, right? Because they're all countersunk, and since this chair is already put together, we're using the same screws, basically, or the same holes that already been pre-drilled. So that's pretty much how the chair is put together, and this is what it looks like. Oh, and then in the back, I forgot to tell you. So once you slip it in, there's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 screws that go in the back. Every single screw that attaches this chair is going to be 2-inch. It's all in the kit, so you don't have to worry about that. And then these just, again, line it up. Try to use the same holes as best you can, and just countersink that into the back. And it's secure. And then the last thing that you do after every screw is in, then the last thing is you tighten these with a 9/16 socket. Again, lag bolt, washer, lock nut, nut. Okay, 9/16 to make things easy. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to take this chair apart. As far as the back, I'm actually going to stain it. Now, I didn't get a chance to do that, but as I take it apart, I'll just throw a quick stain. So when you unwrap it, because all of this stuff will come in 2 boxes. The back will come in 1 box, and then the rest of the seat in another box. So it's going to have a very strong stain smell. But once again, the stains are cherry for the back, your school color for the logo, and then the rest of the cherry for the seat, the arms, and the back, and then the base, the inlaid base of the state, and the legs and base is called a golden pecan, and I'll text that to you. But that's pretty much how you assemble the chair, just by kind of taking a peek at this video. I think you can kind of piece it together. Again, look for all the markings. Again, right to left. Everything is going to be labeled underneath and on the inside, so that way you'd know where the pieces go right to left, because that's pretty much it. Again, I appreciate the business, Jen. Greg, thank you so much for the business. This was a fun chair to make. I'll take it apart, put it in a box, and I'll get the shipping a tracking number for you here shortly. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, one last thing, my number is 612-423-1468. Any issues, give me a call. we can certainly Skype or Zoom, and I could kind of help you there if you need the help. So thank you so much. Have a good day.